Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens and determining whether or not I think they can win the AFC North in 2021. But before we get into that topic, question for those of you viewing, comment down below, how far do you think the Ravens are going this year? You think they're getting Super Bowl win, Super Bowl loss, AFC Championship, AFC Divisional round, wild card round, not make the playoffs? Whatever your thoughts are on the Ravens and how far they will go this year, let me know down in the comments, and I'm going to reveal kind of what I think throughout the video. I think it's going to sum it up. But getting straight into it, the AFC North, I think, is argued as either the first or the second hardest division in football. Either them or the NFC West. Pick your poison. It doesn't matter. But their division is very tough. You got the Cleveland Browns, who are on the huge come up off the amazing offseason they had. Pittsburgh Steelers, say what you want about them. I think they are going to probably miss the playoffs this year. But that defense of theirs, it's not something you just want to blow over. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, up and coming, healthy Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're getting their pieces together. It's a great division all around. But can the Baltimore Ravens, they can hold their own too. Been in the playoffs in several times. Lamar got his first playoff win. They finally got him a receiver. Can this team top first place or get first place in the AFC North? I think it's possible. They did it 2 years ago. They got bumped in the playoffs first round, and last year they got second. But I think in a brand new offseason, the Ravens getting their own weapons, things could be changing, and they could top first. I don't want to oversimplify things and say, oh, it's a two-man race between the Ravens and Browns. But if we're being really realistic, Bengals, I think they're maybe another offseason away. We got to see how Joe Burrow is after his injury. And Big Ben, he just, throughout his entire career, he's never had the work ethic to keep his body in shape like a Tom Brady has or like a Russell Wilson has or like a Drew Brees has, and it's fine. I mean, Big Ben has had his success over his career, but in the back half of his career, the very end of his career, those years and time is going to catch up on him really fast, and it is. So, like I said I didn't want to oversimplify it, but I think it is an easily understood two-man race between the Ravens and Browns to win this division. Looking at the Ravens as a whole right now, kind of what's on their depth chart, who they've had in this offseason, we know how good Lamar Jackson is, and we know how good the Ravens' overall run game is. Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins and Lamar Jackson, I believe they were the number one rushing offense last year. They didn't lead in rushing yards, I don't think, because of Derrick Henry, but statistically, number one rushing offense, I think, went to the Baltimore Ravens. Receiving core, he needed some help. He has in Lamar Jackson, but he has weapons. I mean, you got Mark Andrews, who's a very good tight end in the league. You have speedy Marquise Brown. They drafted Rashod Bateman, who a lot of people think is a great steal and a great pickup for the Baltimore Ravens this year. And then even in the fourth round, they added a guy, Tylan Wallace. So all around, they are executing the receiving core, Sammy Watkins as well, to get Lamar Jackson as much as he can. They try to get some bigger names. You know, they went out there and offered Juju Smith a deal, T.Y. Hilton, but Sammy Watkins or Rashod Bateman, I think those two are an automatic upgrade compared to what Lamar had. So this Ravens receiving core might not be the best in the NFL by any means, but you can't tell me it's better than it was last year. Looking at the offensive line, yeah, they lost Orlando Brown Jr., but you got a first-round draft pick in return, and you pretty much replaced him with Alejandro Villanueva to help out Kevin Zeitler, to help out Ronnie Stanley. This is a pretty good offensive line for the Baltimore Ravens, and they even drafted a guy, Ben Cleveland, in the third round to create a little more depth on the left side of that O-line. So I think all around, they have a pretty packed offensive line. They have an amazing running game, and their receiving core, we haven't seen it yet play in action, but on paper, it 100% upgraded to compared to what it was last year. Looking at the defense, these are kind of where my concerns come in. You know, secondary, it's one of the better ones in the NFL, in my opinion. I just seriously think between Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith, Marlon Humphreys, and then the guys they added in the draft, Brandon Stevens and Sean Wade. Wade and Stevens, you know, third and fifth round pick, they're not going to execute this. You know, they're not going to take the starting job and make this Ravens secondary the best secondary in the NFL, but a couple guys to throw on the depth chart to sit behind Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters and Jimmy Smith to just learn this Ravens system by a well-coached guy and John Harbaugh. Those are some pretty good pickups to add to the depth chart. Like I said, in case anyone gets injured, they got a guy to throw in, and if not, you just a certain coverage, you want an extra cornerback, they have the guys to do it. It's not just some scrub they're pulling off, you know, an eighth-string corner by any means. They have the talent in the secondary. They even drafted in their first round, the other first-round pick they got from the Kansas City Chiefs, Jason Owe. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say his last name exactly, but Jason Owe, a pretty good linebacker / edge rusher. This guy is going to come in big for this pass rush, and that's where my biggest concern is. You know, on paper, the pass rush isn't bad, Brandon Williams, Calais Campbell, he's a 6'8" freak, Derek Wolfe, and now Jason Owa, whatever you want to call it. The pass rush on paper is not bad, but last year, on paper, it was pretty good. It was pretty much the same thing. Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, and Matt Judon, and Yannick Ngakoue. Yet, this offseason, they lost Matt Judon to the Patriots, lost Yannick Ngakoue to the Raiders, and it wasn't stellar by any means last year. So to me, it might have gotten worse, but who knows? Maybe this first-round pick is going to come in and replace both easily. I'm not sure. Again, it's not bad on paper. There is some guys to worry about. It's not like a pass rush he just, I think, sucks. But I just think if I had to be an extreme critic and pinpoint one weakness in this Ravens team, I do think it's a pass rush over the receiving core. They've added to that. Run game is good. Quarterback is great. Offensive line is stout. Secondary is great. I'm just saying it's not bad. If I had to be a critic, though, and just find any gap for the Ravens that I want them to work on, it would be up front on the defensive line. Now, getting into it, though, pretty much, can they win the division? 100% they can win the division. Like I said, it's pretty much a two-man race. You're going to play the Browns twice, so you're going to get every chance you need to win that division. But the Browns are a top 3 roster in football. On paper, luckily in the Ravens' favor, the Browns, there could be some injuries that go their way. They're still relatively new. They could catch them off guard, possibly with such a new team. I like the Browns on paper with Jadeveon Clowney, Malik Jackson, Takkarist McKinley, Greg Newsome, J.O.K., John Johnson, Troy Hill. Those are all new guys they added who are great for the Browns, but with so many new guys, that might hurt the Browns' chemistry, and therefore that might give the Ravens advantage. Past few years, Ravens have definitely been the big brother over the Browns, and the Browns are just waiting for that revenge to top them. But, until they do, they aren't topping them. So I do think the Ravens kind of own the crown today, but I, like myself and many others, think the Browns are going to win the division this year. But if the Ravens pull it off and are still the big brother, I won't be surprised. Lamar Jackson seems to have the Browns' number. Even last year, you could say, the Browns almost lost by only 5 points in the second game. The first one, Ravens blew them out. But I think in the second one, the Browns, they almost beat them. They only lost by 5 points. It took Lamar Jackson to leave the game and have that whole, crap in his pants joke to the Browns to even stay in contention. If Lamar Jackson was in that game, that game could have gotten ugly for the Browns, and the Ravens would have won by decent margins. So, say what you want about the Browns being close last year. In my eyes, they really weren't, because you took Lamar Jackson, leaving part of the game for you to stand a chance. Now, assuming everyone's going to be healthy, I like this Ravens team a lot. I'm not a fan of the Ravens. I'm not a fan of the Browns. And I'm excited to see this race in the AFC North. Can the Ravens win it? 100%, no doubt. Can they? Yes. Will they? That's when you get really specific, and I don't know. I just have to see how these new teams go. I have to see it play in action, Is Rashod Bateman going to live up to the hype and really help Lamar's passing game to the nth degree? Is all these Browns players going to come together? Are some going to get hurt? Is Jadeveon Clowney going to get hurt again? Are these new corners and safeties, are they going to come in and fit right away? Is Baker Mayfield going to take a step up and become a top 10 quarterback? There's just a lot of question marks to really answer who will win it today. But the Ravens, they are 100% in contention. What did they go last year? 11-5, I believe, and the year before was like 14-2. This is a good Ravens team. And I think they can take the number on the Browns. A lot of people expect the Browns to pass them, but it won't be easy. I could guarantee you that Lamar Jackson, as young as he is, he's still younger than guys like Joe Burrow, and as much more experience as he has, like guys over that, 3 playoff experience, a playoff win. Lamar Jackson is very young and is very electric in the NFL, and I don't care what you add to that Browns defense, you're not going to shut them down completely when it comes to running the football. Passing the football, we're going to have to see. I'm saying, Baker needs to step up to top 10 quarterback if they want to win, but Lamar needs to step up in the passing game as well. There's no more excuses. I'm not saying he's a bad thrower, but now that he's got the receivers and Sammy Watkins, Rashod Bateman, Mark Andrews, Marquise Brown, Tylan Wallace, this passing game needs to elevate a little bit more. And I'm never saying, Lamar's got to be a pocket passer. He just has to abandon the run, but he needs to be more dual threat. He's the most mobile quarterback in the league, hands down, but he can't be so darn reliant on it. If you're down 2 touchdowns and, you're only 5-6 minutes left in the football game, you're not going to be able to do 2-minute drills by running the football. You got to be able to pass it through the air to save some time, and we need to see Lamar develop that side of the football for him. I think he can do it. I think this Ravens team will go far. I think they will definitely, probably at the bare minimum, make the divisional round again. I don't see them getting bounced in the first round. Obviously, if they have a tough matchup against the Chiefs or something, it might be different. But I do seriously think this is at the bare minimum, a divisional round team and a team that can win the division. I'm not going to answer Will yet just because it's way too soon. I haven't seen these guys like Rashod Bateman, the other first-round pick, Jason Owe. I haven't seen the Browns' new additions on offense and on defense. How will OBJ be? Will he mess with the Browns' chemistry? I don't know. Just too many things. I think even after week 1, I could get a decent guess. But as of today, right now, I can't say yes or no. I think they could run for it, but to give them the official title, I can't do it yet. I guess if I had to give someone the crown today, I might give it to the Ravens, but by the end of the season, like I said, the Browns roster, if it stays healthy and finally clicks together, I think they could easily snatch it from them. But as always, guys, it's up for debate. I do want to hear your opinions. Do you think the Ravens will win the AFC North in 2021? Comment down below. And as always, guys, I truly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. 2-1.